Right, folks, welcome to the third episode of Talkin Shyte. And this week we've got none other than Paddy Murphy. What's the crack, Paddy? Great to have you
Well,
on
sir,
here.
how are we?
Not too bad,
not too bad.
Good.
Raring to go.
So what's the crack anyway? Busy?
Yeah, we're busy. We're doing well. We're doing bits and bobs and always talking shite somewhere. So I suppose that's good.
Sure. That's all that Irish do is talk shite. That is what we do. We do it best.
Absolutely. Better than the rest.
So I want to go back to the very start because you're obviously on TikTok. You're obviously on Twitch. You've been on first dates, but I was doing some digging about and stuff, and I noticed you're even on Rory's stories. So you're just everywhere. So, where did you start out? Or?
Yeah, well, I suppose Rory stories. I would have been there from day one with Rory. And for about 5 years, then I was kind of doing that with him the whole time. So that would have been growing up, I always done like drama stuff and different like stage schools, if you will, and things like that. I always had a passion for it, so I always had it. I was always one of those, that was into all that sort of stuff. So I suppose I went the less traditional route with the whole social media, and I was lucky to know Rory like true family, like him. My brothers and sisters would be best friends with Rory growing up, etc. So that's how the families knew each other. And so when he was starting up his horror stories, I said to him, "Listen, I'm an aspiring actor or whatever, and if you need any hands, let me know." And he's like, "Yeah, grand." And then I helped him out, and then 5 years solid work with Rory, doing bits and bobs, and built it from nothing up with him. Obviously, I was only helping out; he was the brains behind it all. But I definitely really enjoyed it. But then I got to a stage where I was like, "Yeah, this has been great and all, but there's only so far it can go with me."
Yeah,
like I always kind of wanted to do my own thing as well, and I felt like being strictly with that kind of maybe would have hindered that. And if I had stayed with Rory Stories, I never would have done TikTok or anything like that or done my own thing. So it was a blessing in disguise, really. We were still mates like to this day. I get that question every day still, which is hilarious. But that was Rory Stories was my starting in social media. So I kind of coming into TikTok, I had the head for it, if you know what I mean. I knew the crack.
Right. Yes. But I had noticed. I think I was on your TikTok. But just to say in your TikTok, your email is Paddy Murphy actor or whatever. And I thought you are an actor then, like, or are you funny, still trying to be an actor?
I tell you, I'd love to bloody change that domain. I remember I had a friend of mine from Ashburn named Trevor. He was is it a proper actor, like proper all that sort of stuff, and he was like giving me advice on, put your email as that, and all looks professional. Mm-hmm. And so I started out as an actor, you know what I mean? Like that's what I still want to do, and I will. Yeah. I will once I lose a few more. I'm not going to bother trying to do proper acting until I lose weight because I know the crack. I don't want to be typecast as the fat guy. I'm more to offer than that. So I have a plan to lose weight, and then I'm going to go back into the proper acting. But the social media is kind of just like a side thing. It kind of ties in though. Like it's like you have to have the kind of personality. I think it certainly helps. Like, but no, I'm still definitely going to give acting a go. I've done bits and bobs, do some different plays and stuff. But no, we that is my email. But I still would love to change it because it's a bit like. It's a bit like, what actor? What do you mean you acting all the time? But no, I that's what I started out as, and I will eventually get back into that.
Have you been on anything on TV or anything like that, or
that's the funniest. Well, I suppose we've done a lot of Republic of Telly with Rory. We've done a lot of sketches in that.
Yeah.
So I got me little cameos in that and stuff. But the funniest thing, the first dates and all that, like the non-acting stuff was the biggest TV stuff I've done. So like first dates, and then got onto the Radar RC chat show, which was a great experience. Like I was on Rubber Bandits before, little bits of bobs. But no, my acting hasn't, like proper acting hasn't done anything yet. I have a lot more to do in that. So we'll get social media has been my more successful platform for sure. But I've never auditioned for anything though. Like that's the thing. I've never had the balls to go out and audition because I've just been like, but I've always had a bit of weight on me, so I was just like, I'm just not arsed. I always had that in the back of my head. I probably should still go and try.
Yeah, sure. It's never stopped anybody before. Like really, like
sure, we'll give it a go. Now we have a charity match in London in May, and one of the lads on the team, Renico, he's gonna he's a PT, like he's gonna give me his plan, and you have where we've started that, so that's gonna hopefully get me nice in a nice little place, and then we can, take over the world.
Yeah. So how did first dates come about? That obviously that didn't come from like your like sort of acting background. Then did you just apply for it and just got picked?
Yeah, well, I suppose. Well, obviously being in that way inclined, I was like any exposure is kind of good exposure, and also a bit of crack. Like And you never know, you could find someone. So I seen it, I applied for it on a whim. You never think much of these things, like, whatever, I probably won't get it. I got it done. All it was an extensive process. It was months worth of like doing interviews and all that back and forth, and we got in anyway. And like I still to this day couldn't get over how big it was at the time. Like, and I went from having a few people recognize me from Rory Stories to getting recognized the day after by random old ones on the street because they'd seen me the night before. So it was mad, like this, and his first dates still stuck around, like so.
Yeah.
It was a great experience for me. Like obviously, I didn't find love per se, but it was definitely beneficial, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, it was definitely. It's a bit why people go on Love Island, like they always say, "Oh, I'm doing it for love," but realistically, they're going on for the wee boost. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for exposure. So nothing came of with that girl at all, then, or
no, not with that girl, but it certainly didn't hurt my my repertoire with the women after that.
You're all baby faced, and I was watching it there about a couple of hours ago. You were fucking really baby faced back then. How long ago would that have been?
Well, that was about 5 years ago, so it would have been 19. I'm 24 now.
Right.
A couple of stone ago as well, which hurts, but we'll get back to it. It's not impossible. It was mad though. My game has improved tremendously. Believe me, I promise anyone. I promise you.
You were just on with the random questions. It was like,
cringe.
Favorite artist and favorite TV show. You just plucked out the most popular TV show of the last 10 years and the most popular artist, and she's so shocked. Like, how did you fucking think of that?
200 IQ. I knew what I was at.
The Monster Munch one though, that was a good guess. How did that like?
Yeah, to be fair, it was a good guess, but I feel like in hindsight, I feel like she may have just agreed for the sake of it, like to not be awkward.
Probably.
Yeah, like who doesn't
TV.
like Monster Munch? Like,
I know.
Yeah, I doubt she sat down there with a contract with her loyalty to Monster Munch. I reckon she liked a few different crisps. Like that's not a fat joke, by the way. I just mean like we all like a few different ones. But yeah, I feel like she just agreed for the sake of it. But listen, I'll take it.
Aye. So then after first dates and all, so when did you start TikTok, or why? Like, was it just through lockdown, or was that just when you wanted to branch away from Rory Stories and such?
Yeah, well, there was a bit of a gap between finishing Rory Stories. I think I had about a 6-month gap, maybe. I had nothing of my own, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I noticed like my social media started to dwindle a little bit. I was like, oh, well, no shit, like I've nothing on right now. I need to plug. I didn't know whether I wanted to go down the road either, because like people think it's easy. Like it is easy to a degree, but there's a lot of negatives that come with it. But I think it was the lockdown that happened. I think it was March 2020.
Yeah.
I started TikTok, which I started as Cecil the Caveman.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure you may be aware of. Yeah. Well, I think it's now. What's this doing? So I started doing the Irish stuff and all the comedy, and that was great and all. But then underneath it all, I've always been a Liverpool fan, big mad football head, like, and liking like the GAA was a bit of an act. Like I like GAA, but I'm not a big GAA at all. Like and I'll be honest. So like, and people would be asking me questions about the fucking the Cavan County final. They'd be like, "Well, I haven't a fucking clue, pal. Yeah, I'm from fucking Mead." But no. And then I done that for a while, and then I think it came around then to February 2021, and it was United Liverpool game coming up, and I made a video on that saying blah blah. One of them, if United blah 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 win or whatever. And so February 2021 is when I started the football one. Right. So we're just about a year on, actually. No, not quite, not quite a year yet on that. So that's what's the good thing. Like that's why I love Ireland. I love being Irish and all that. But yourself, just doing strictly Irish stuff. There's a ceiling, there's a cap on it. Yeah, you can only go so far. But whereas with this football stuff now, 51% of my following it'd be from the UK. Yeah, and we're gonna say mainland England because that's what I'll register. You know, you know what I mean. So that was just great. Like, and it's I've met so many great people and opportunities. Like that match for mine I was meant to go to. Obviously, I'm going to the new one. Yeah, met a lot of good people. Like, and it's just really been great. Like, and we're going well. And it's just hard. Well, I'm going for the next level now. I want to hit that 200k mark, but it's tough enough. Like,
So have you retired Cecil the Cavan Man? But I went on to that TikTok last night. Is it? There's about 77 or 80,000 followers on it, and it's just abandoned. Is that abandoned completely?
Yeah, I tell you, I've been mulling over the decision to delete it the last few days.
Right.
Yeah, or private it, because I don't think I'm gonna go there again, because like, while it's a bit of crack and stuff, some of the content could have been a bit divisive, and we're trying to branch into obviously England and all that, which I'm branching into as if you know what you get what I mean though.
Yeah.
Just in case it pops up again and people are, I don't know, it's pretty lighthearted for me. Like I've deleted a lot of or privated a lot of the borderline ones, you would say, border, you know. But I don't know. I just don't think I'll ever get back into them. I just don't, because I to be honest, I don't have the time, because I do the football one, and then I have the backup to that, which I upload daily on Ish. And I have the FIFA one as well. I'm trying to do and crack. I literally couldn't do the Cecil one.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's harder to think of genuine comedy. Like it's like, whereas when you're doing just opinion based stuff or FIFA based stuff, that's kind of made for you. Whereas like the Cecil stuff is like, oh, you know,
and what are you going to do next?
It's like, you know, it has to end at some point. So I might delete it, or I might just private the account, and whoever's already on there, fair dues.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Somebody wanted me to ask you, have you still got the mankini from the Cecil Cavanman days?
I reckon there's a couple of over there in the corner, a couple of skid marks on and all. I uploaded a video of me wearing it onto the TikTok, and it got taken down. I was like, I can't do. There's no point in doing it in Cavan.
Yeah,
I should have. That was the forfeit I was meant to do, but I never done it. But listen, we'll do it one day. We'll make it. We'll make a big event of it.
Yeah. So with football TikTok, then, would you say that there was any specific videos that made you blow up, or was it more like a gradual increase in growth over the last year? Like, did you just blow up out of nowhere, or?
Yeah, I think with regards to the football TikTok one, the first one I done that went pretty viral was corner taking quickly. Origi was a more iconic moment than the Aguero one. You know, that one went pretty mad. But honestly, like with TikTok, it's scary how much it just kind of snowballs.
Yeah.
So, and don't get me wrong, having that TikTok account already, I was able to boost. I think I had 10,000 followers on that in the first day.
Yeah.
You know, on the new one. So that's obviously an unbelievable boost.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was just a gradual, and just kept flying up. And you know, the key with that is you just need to strike while the iron's hot. I was uploading daily, twice. You know, just keep going and just talk about football. And I loved it, because I'm, you know, listen, people might have their opinions of me about Liverpool or whatever. I'm very passionate. I love the club. I love the game. And if I can kind of turn that into a job, or, you know, I have kind of, it's a pleasure. Do you know what I mean? So it's just kind of snowball. TikTok is a great app. It's changed many people's lives over the world.
It really has. And like, I think people underestimate the power of TikTok. I think it also has the power to like make people give up too. Like if they maybe get one successful video or whatever, and then they start uploading, and then they maybe aren't getting as many views, and then they maybe fall off, they stop making videos, and then the next thing, or a few weeks later, they make a video and it just dies a death. It can make people want to give up too. Like,
it is tough, because like no matter what way you want to look at it, you know, everyone in life, if you're a content creator, you're gonna have a peak at some point. You know, you're gonna peak. You know what I mean? Like you look at like the likes of Ollie Ball, those couple of months where him and your man Jacob were like astronomical views, and they're still doing really well now.
Yeah.
But because they haven't hit those heights again, people are like, oh, you fell off. No. The fact he was ever on, or they were ever on that much, is unbelievable. It's not possible to maintain that level.
Yeah.
You know, so it is tough for people, and to any smaller creators or any other creators, don't let it, like even today, I uploaded a video there earlier on. TikTok's a weird app sometimes. I uploaded a video earlier on. In the first 20 minutes, I had 5,000 views.
Mm-hmm.
And then another half an hour later, and it's gone up like 200 views, because I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And it's like, what do you like? But now I'll probably go on later on, it'll randomly get a jut up of 10,000 more. They're acting the bollocks sometimes. But it can be discouraging. But just keep plugging away at it, like. And you know yourself from the FIFA content creation, it's an unbelievable tool for that, like with the lives and all.
Yeah, it really is. I think I've talked about this over the last 2 or 3 weeks with Heinz Baines and Luke Bennett. Like, you just don't know what the crack with TikTok is, like, and how to grow. Like I've mentioned, there's big creators on Twitch that don't seem to be able to find success in TikTok, and vice versa. Like, you know yourself, like somebody could post a video of an icon pack, or they could be live on TikTok with an icon pack, and they have fucking hundreds or maybe thousands of viewers, and then somebody else could be doing the exact same thing, and they've 2 people sitting watching them. It's really strange.
It is difficult, like, and on that, like I've obviously have the FIFA TikTok account, and that's like up nearly on 50K, which has been great. But like some videos like that, I take no effort at all. I just like I edit them myself, Shyte edit or whatever. And then the last few days, I've had a fella edit for me. He wants to edit as a fair play, and they're really good edits, and they're tanking like fuck, like they're not even hitting. Someone having even hit 5K views. Like, what the fuck? Like, these are the ones you expect. There's no guarantees. Like, some of the stupidest things can go viral, but the thing is, just keep plugging away. If you let one negative or one bad performing video rule the roost, then you're never going to have another good one, so it's just keep plugging away. And on the power of TikTok, it's funny because you see all these big companies and big celebrities now coming on to TikTok, like even the traditional mainstream YouTubers now coming over and realizing the power. Like it's an unbelievably powerful app, like especially if you're like a musician. If you get a viral sound on TikTok, you're fucking sorted.
I think it was actually, I was listening to Gary V one time. I think he was talking about TikTok, and they were mentioning at the time, say followers nearly on TikTok in the last couple of years, it's kind of irrelevant as such, because like your videos could go viral no matter how many followers you have. And they said, if you can get into TikTok earlier and get the followers, then eventually maybe around now, or maybe in a couple of years time, when big brands and stuff start coming across the TikTok, that's whenever followers will really matter on TikTok. Because you know yourself, like the amount of followers you have doesn't really decide how many views your video gets as such.
Yeah, that's the thing about TikTok, which is annoying. It almost feels every video you make, it's like you're trying to get a brand new start again every time. It's like there's just because you have 100,000 doesn't mean you're gonna get 100,000 views at all. Or it's almost like every time you make a new video, you're making them for new people. It's a strange one, like I think TikTok has a long shelf life. I know like Vine kind of died a death, but I think TikTok is just going to become more of a powerful phenomenon. And the people that were there from the start, like you will have a lot of, because if you look, like if you have 100,000 on TikTok or 100,000 on Instagram, the 100,000 on Instagram is probably genuinely worth 1,000 times more to you in terms of like, if you go to a brand and say, I'll do a post on 100,000 Instagram, you'll get, let's say, you could get 10 grand. You could, like, depending. And if you have 100,000 on TikTok, you'd probably get €100. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It completely depends, obviously, but it depends. It's meant to the power of Instagram, but TikTok will become a force. Believe me.
Yeah. Already like. Yeah, people thought would have maybe died off, but sure, we're sitting here in 2022. TikTok obviously started in 2019, probably got a lot more popular when the lockdowns happened across the world in 2020. And it's still here, and there's no signs of it slowing down.
I just don't see how it can slow down because it's short form content. People these days, like the attention span is in the mud. Like, but that's why TikTok is great, because it grasps you. Like, I know they can do the 3-minute videos, but TikTok is great. I don't see how it can die, because I don't see a rival to it. Like, Instagram has its purpose for pictures and all that. But TikTok is its own entity, really. And unless someone tries to come on and rival TikTok, but they're only going to try and rival the same sort of model. So I don't see how it'll ever kind of dwindle.
You were saying there about Ollie Ball and was it Jacob? People saying that they fell off and stuff like that. I think on TikTok, you see TikTok seems to go through phases where like the likes of Ollie Ball and all, they'll be the main thing in maybe UK TikTok for a while. At the minute, as you know, it's at Simple Simon, Cal and Astrid and all that there. It goes through phases where people are the sort of talk of TikTok, and then it's not that they die off. There's just something new, but like they might still be getting the same attention, but there's just something else being talked about. Because you remember the American or the college footballer that did the Justin Bieber Eeny Meeny, like that, he wasn't even on TikTok, and then that video was posted up. Then he made a TikTok account, got fucking over 1 million followers, and then another video, but he's still on TikTok having relatively good success. But people would probably think, oh, that boy fell off. He had one video and that's it. But it just seems to go through phases where you just stop seeing that sort of them videos. I don't know, because I rarely see Ollie Ball anymore. But if I went onto his profile, there'd be probably loads of. It's
that's the thing. Like you can't be the main character forever. Like, I think people underestimate how like popular they are at a time. Like they are like with that. I think I've never seen anything like Ollie and Jacob. Like when they were on, they were like, it was unbelievable. Like they haven't fallen off. Yes, they the views probably aren't popping as much as they were, but they're still popping more than the average, by miles. They're still doing really well, making a living for themselves. So when they get, I believe me, I'm sure they don't care when people say fall off. Like it'd be great to stay at that level forever, but it's just not feasible. It's not possible. I think Astrid's been the main star now a few times now. She's doing what she has TikTok down to a T. Like she's done a live there with Simon last night, and it was only like an hour live, and there was 122,000 different people in.
It's mad. It's like a soap opera at the minute. They know what they're doing.
Oh, it's mad.
They know what they're at.
Well, I'm friendly with all of them.
I think they know what they're at. I think it's all a show.
Yeah, like people like even if it was like they've made videos saying Simon done a video dance if you have TikTok on strings, like whatever, like they know what they're doing now, like and people still bite. Like I just Simon's video was like when she doesn't like lads older than her or something, or when she goes for lads her own age, and then it's like, someone give me a tune, and he fucks off. I just commented with laughing faces, and someone goes, "You don't condone what Simon's doing here." Like, what is Simon doing? He's rattling you on a TikTok, getting exactly. Do you know what I mean? He's playing the game excellently. I messaged him last night, and I sent him a DM last night on Instagram. I was like, "Listen, I hope, like, because he's getting a lot of abuse, and whatever his opinions of him, like, I'm sure he's well able to handle himself. But listen, if you ever need to talk, don't let the shit get to you. It's only children." Like, but it's like people, the abuse, and he asked the abuse she gets as well. She probably
gets the worst abuse.
Oh yeah, she put up a photo of her buying her new Tesla.
Yeah,
and people were telling her to go and do such herself. Like, that's just disgraceful that people think they can do that. Which is why I always say, whether you're in the UK or Ireland or whatever, you should have to provide ID to make a social media account. Any social media account.
I think it should be the same across the world.
Yeah, fact. Yeah. And any existing social media account should need to be updated with their ID, because like people say things too flippantly without any thoughts of the consequences. But if they have their name and picture attached to it, they won't be so soon to do it. Like
and the abuse always comes from people that don't have like a profile picture, like they have a fucking footballer as their profile picture or something like that. Or it's just a blank fucking canvas. So it is. But
it's funny you say that though. Actually, I got abused the other night off this lad. He said, "Oh, that Paddy Murphy fella should be bed up and down the road," and he actually didn't have he had his photo on him,
right?
And he was a fella from Dublin, the head in the cunt. I just replied, saying, "Hard man, what are you gonna do? Like, what are you threatening? Why should someone who makes football content be battered? Like probably had one too many cans, like yourself. But yeah, weird people out there.
Some people do get really, really, really rattled by TikTok. I don't get it. Like how you can get so annoyed by like people on TikTok. There might be some people that annoy you on TikTok, maybe because they've like, I know, like there's people with like opinions maybe about Catholics and Protestants stuff, and they're maybe offending people in that way, and you might get rattled that way. But like, I don't think anybody should ever threaten to batter somebody just because of a TikTok.
Absolutely. Like, no, yeah, of course. Like, obviously, there is content out there that is purely made as hatred, like hateful stuff. Now, that's all different. Like, but I feel like if you're just talking about football, and people who say that, they're unhinged, I would say. Don't get me wrong. They're like, I can imagine now in the future I'll go out on a night out and I'll meet a drunk United fan who'll just let his emotions overcome. You never know. Like, there just is people like that in walks of life that are just too invested. Like, I find that obscene, like, or mental. But it wouldn't, like, I would never in the world. Never in any world would a video drive me to such emotion. It's like, if you don't like it, just keep fucking scrolling. Like, you know what I mean? Like, don't cry about it. Nobody cares about your opinion if you don't like it. Fair enough. Just move on. I'll move on with my day. You move on about your day. Quite simple.
You're bound to have got some hate from like some of your opinions on TikTok that maybe saying the likes of Salah is better than, I know, Messi or Ronaldo or something like that. Like in the early days, would you say you'd have been deliberately putting up controversial opinions to?
Not at all.
No.
Anything I've said it before and I stand by it. Any video I've ever made, there's a debate for it and a case to be made for, I would say. Absolutely. It's not just like that, but then since, and not to say I was the fucking pace setter, but since I started that, and then people have come on again, and like your man Dowd, and they've purposely said completely outlandish things. Like that's not how it works. People know that's bollocks. There's no degree of truth to it. Whereas with me, when I was doing it, I genuinely believe everything I've said, and I believe that everything I've ever said, there's a debate to be had, and some of them that I've made at the time maybe might not have been as spot on, but I feel like they've aged well. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
I can't think of any that I've ever said that have completely zero traction or zero truth to, and that's genuine, God honest truth.
Yeah. I think there's a podcast that some Chelsea fans, or there might be a mixture. There's some fella, I forget his name, but
that's Sean fella.
It's Sean. Is it the
baldy lad, big guy?
SDS pod or something?
Yeah.
Either he's playing the game, or his football and knowledge is just awful. Like
absolutely. I've seen that guy. Absolutely, he's playing the game. You can see in some of the clips he smiles like at the corner of his mouth. Absolutely. And your man Sharky, who runs that, he knows exactly what he's at as well. With the TikTok clips, and they're doing it well. Fair play to him. But his takes have been astonishingly bad. He's one of those that Jeff definitely purposefully says sensational things. Like, but some of his things are just like so. Like, what? Riyad Mahrez is better than Mo Salah. No, he's not. Shut up, talking waffle. Do you know what I mean? Like, what are you talking about? But I've seen him some of them clips. Don't get me wrong; he's had some good takes. Like, he's not completely always been off the mark. But 9 times out of 10, he misses massively.
Yeah. Any video I've seen, I don't think I've ever agreed with anything he says, because it's always absolutely ridiculous. And see, if it's about Man United, I just tune out from him completely, because it's going to be ridiculous. But
his Chelsea bias is insane too.
Yeah, I think he was comparing Jorginho and Bruno Fernandes or something one day, or it was ridiculous.
Bruno's clear. Bruno
is clear. What do you think of Jorginho? Like, I
see. He plays a position that doesn't require him to be scoring goals. He basically regists the position, doesn't he? So most of his good work goes unnoticed, and players like that never really get the recognition they deserve. So when someone like Jorginho gets into the team of the year and all this, people are like, how? Like, because they naturally would maybe look at the goals and assists. But I think you have to say he played an integral part in the Chelsea Champions League winning team. He played an integral part in the Italy's Euros winning team. And that usually for the Ballon d'Or and stuff is like, he should have won it. But I think he deserved it. I think it's hard for players like that to get the recognition they deserve.
Yeah.
But so it's like, you know, people just naturally think the Ballon d'Or should be occupied by the goal scorers and the people who do the business end. Yeah. But ultimately, like, it's nice to see people in those sort of positions get recognized. I think based on this year he deserved it, but I think I think putting him in like all-time debates or anything like that would be way ahead of the joke. Like, that'd be overrating him a wee bit. Like,
see, obviously he's included in Team of the Year, and he was up for the Ballon d'Or and all that there. Like, do you think, say Chelsea had been beat in the final and Italy had been beat in the final, would Jorginho even be in the conversation?
No. And that's the thing. Those competitions are all. They're very competition heavy. Like, I don't necessarily agree with that. Like, I don't like how the Ballon d'Or is always so like you have to be winning the things. Yeah. Like, if you're performing to it, like, I remember the year Mohamed Salah, his first season for Liverpool, like, he was fucking phenomenal. Like, and I think he finished like third or something. It was a joke just because he didn't win it. But he's like, it's about the player, you know. So that's the thing. Like, it's very competition heavy. Like, if England maybe had won, and then Mason Mount played well, you know, or something, like, it would have been. He could have been. Yeah, it is too common. He had a great year no matter what, even if he had a lost then. But it can be very competition heavy.
Yeah, I think it's like sometimes have players in the team that have won competitions because they maybe have been very integral to it. But I think in some cases they include players in the team that maybe didn't play as well as other players who didn't win competitions. Like, for me, I think there's a lot of recency bias sometimes whenever teams of the season and team of the year are picked. I wouldn't say Kevin De Bruyne had the greatest 2021, and I think Bruno Fernandes had a great, say, from January till the end of the season. He maybe didn't start this season. Well, he started this season well, but the last 2-3 months he hasn't been great, but it was left out of the team. Jorginho maybe hasn't been great for the start of the season.
I agree with that point about the recency bias for sure, and I agree with I don't think De Bruyne deserved to get into it either at all. I think there was definitely other options there. I think that's why Mohamed Salah didn't get into it, because obviously while he's had a great, unbelievable 2021, is like maybe last season he wasn't as good as he is now, but he was still good. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're definitely like, and football in general, recency bias is disgusting. Like someone has one good game, 2 good games, and suddenly they are better than this. Is like, what? Like, just listen to yourself. You need look at Roy Keane. Like Roy Keane was, I think I seen a clip today. Roy Keane talking about Dele Alli in 2018. The interviewer was like, is he the best English player at the moment? And Roy Keane was like, oh, well, it's a bit over exaggeration. He's a lot to do. You know, he's a lot of work to do. And he was spot on. Like, look at him now making TikToks while Tottenham are losing 2-0 to Chelsea. So you have to put the work in. You have to be good for a prolonged period of time to be put in those categories, you know?
Yeah. I definitely do think recency bias is definitely one thing that really, really annoys me about football opinions. Because like a world-class player could play Shyte for a month, and all of a sudden they're not world class anymore. They're not this, they're not that. Kevin De Bruyne is a player that I think he is world class, but to be included in, he'll probably get in the team of the season for the Premier League in May, when he probably won't deserve it. I think last season, a lot of Man City players were, obviously Man City won the league, but a lot of Man City players had maybe a string of good games. Like Gundogan had a string of good games, I think, from January till February. And all of a sudden, he's the greatest fucking midfielder in the Premier League at the time. And then De Bruyne has them good games between March and April, and Foden has them good games. Then all of a sudden, you're just recency bias is just changing people's opinions all the time. And it just really, really riles me.
Yeah, I agree with that completely. Like, I feel like whoever decides those teams literally just go boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
First person that comes to their head. But I agree, like, you can have one purple patch like of a month or so, and suddenly you're in. Whereas the players who maybe be more consistent throughout the whole season is like, then they get chosen. It is a bit of a joke, like, to be fair, but you know, it's just the way it is. It's a horrible trait.
Yeah. So I want to talk about Liverpool. Do you think they'll come back, and do you think they have a chance of winning the league? Can they catch City?
It's a lot. It's changed a lot now after the City dropping points and us winning.
Yeah,
it's still there for the taking. I've said that if we can just stay perfect up until we play City and then beat City, then we're all to play for. But it's subjective to, like, because it's only, what is it now? We win our game in hand. We're only 6 points behind them.
Yeah.
And then if you beat them, then it's 3 points. And that's, you know, on the premise that City will drop a point as well. So it's very based on what if, you know. I think from this point forward, we have to match City every game week, a minimum. And then we have to beat them. That game will decide the title, even if it's not already decided before then. But that game, City versus Liverpool, will decide the title, because if we can win them, that would be monumental. And listen, it's going to be tough, like, because we'll have the Champions League to do as well, which I do think we're going to go far in. I do think we'll see, the Inter Milan's going to be tough. I do think we'll beat them. I think we can beat. I've said it before. I think we can beat any team in the world over 2 legs. I'll always back that
easily.
An Anfield, like, So I think we'll get to a final of the Champions League minimum. I'm going to say that. And then I think it just depends on City. It's still in City's hands to a degree. It's still in City's hands. They can go and win every single game, and there you go. But there's a lot of weight and pressure on that City Liverpool game. I think if we can keep close to them up until then and then beat them, then it's all to play for, because that'll add the pressure.
It's still early yet, I think, for the title race. I'm not a big believer in, like, saying in December, oh, the league's over, or in saying in January the league's over, even if it is 10 points. Like, I've obviously times have changed recently, and like City, the likes of City and Liverpool don't drop many points in a season. But like I'm just thinking of times like whenever Man United, and I think it was 2011 or 2012, the year that City obviously won it in the last day, United were 8 points clear or so with 8 games to go or something, and then they had they ballsed up a match against Everton, drew 4-4, and then obviously Aguero getting the winner in the last day, which will haunt me forever.
I think on that, like the league being over in December, January, I think the year Liverpool won, it actually genuinely was over in about December, January, because we were, I think it was like 15, 16 points, something mental. But yeah, that was a great moment. I remember hearing about that from my United mates. It was great. But it's tough. Like it's a different kettle of fish, the Premier League this year with
Yeah,
City and with Liverpool. I mean, City have obviously been more consistent because they've won 3 out of the last 4. They don't drop a lot of points historically, and when they get into a rhythm, they're so hard to shake out of.
yeah,
And when they get when they get the lead and they get that bit between their teeth, they're animals.
yeah,
They're so relentless. It's scary. Like I think they like having a lead, and like they still have a lead. And they could easily go on and win every single game between
yeah,
now and the end of the season. And like form would predict that. The norm would predict that. It will take out something out of the ordinary. So I'm hoping United, when they play them, can beat them. I'll be a United fan for that sake. That'd be great.
Yeah.
If they lose a game in the next few and we've won up, oh God, I really would love a title race just for the sake of it as well.
Yeah,
It's
make it more
when it's done so early.
Yeah. Do you find yourself getting annoyed with the likes of Chelsea and Man United, Arsenal? See, whenever they come up against City, you maybe get yourself excited. These teams could take points off City today, and then they don't. I'd say that would really piss you off, because it really pisses me off. See, Arsenal probably annoy me the most in the Premier League, simply because of, like, obviously growing up in the 2000s, Arsenal were a good team and all. And then whenever they come up against City or Liverpool, you think, oh, they'll maybe give them a game. Now, they sort of did give City a game a couple of weeks back, but ended up getting beat. Anyway, but normally when Arsenal come up against Liverpool and City, they get thrashed. And it fucks me up.
Yeah, I know. I feel like, though, there's only so much they can do at some point, because I think City on the day, it's unrelentless. But, you know, it's just like, I've seen some games you see City playing such like, oh, you never know. And they just never do. They always win. It's actually been the games you don't expect where they drop points, like the Southampton one, for example. I never expected that. Oh, Southampton were so close to holding on as well, but it was still good to see them drop points. But again, City don't drop points too often, but you hope. I think United will give them a good game though when they play them, because it's a different United now. Ralph has a different. He actually seems to have a genuine, style, and he's implementing tactics, unlike Ollie, who just fucking fantastic. Hope for the best. He was a should never eat a fraud.
The first 3 or 4 games of Ralph, like, obviously they won a couple, and they've only lost one since he took over, but they have been a bit shaky at times and looking shite. But at the end of the day, they've only lost one. I think City's the only team so far since he took over that have gained more points than United. So hopefully we can keep a good run going. Hopefully we can give the Champions League a good rattle.
There you go. That's the thing, though. But like there's so many bad eggs in United, isn't there? So it's very hard to magically turn them into omelets. There you go. That's a nice little. Do you know what I mean? So it'll take time. Like I know he only has to the end of the season. But you never know. He might be given more time if it suits. But as you said, only City have gained more points. So there's obviously something going right there. And you said the Champions League, tough game against Atletico Madrid. Honestly, that's going to be. They're a horrible team to play against. Yeah, really, that's going to be a horrible game to watch. I couldn't even predict it. I might even edge towards Atletico Madrid just because of the style. Like, they're really dogged.
They're hard team to beat though. But
I'd love if you got through, and I'd love to play United.
I hope we get through too, because I have actually booked to go over to Manchester for the second leg. I haven't got tickets yet, but I'm going to try my best to get tickets. I can get tickets, but I'm sort of being a wee bit picky with where I want to sit. So,
oh really? Yeah.
Because I can get.
Well, if you can get them though. If you obviously you don't want to
tickets. Up in it's what I would call
the clouds.
It's up in the clouds. It's like poverty hospitality. They're dear tickets, but they're up high. But you get into you get in for food and all that there. It's not like a sit down meal. It's like, I think there's like chips and sausages and stuff like that.
Where you get, is that tickets direct out of you're going to?
No, I think, well, it's probably something similar. It's like sort of them like sports management companies and stuff do them.
It's a fucker though for us, because we're forced sometimes to do that, go that route, and I don't want hospitality around. I don't give a shit. I just want to go and watch the game, but sometimes you're forced to pay obscene prices because you just want to go. Like I'm going to the Leicester game on February the 10th, but my birthday's in March and we play West Ham the day before. I'd love to go to that, and then a few days after we have Inter Milan in Anfield. I'd love to go to both, but that would be a wedge and a half. But nearly worth it. I don't know.
So obviously you're not a season ticket holder then. No, you just have to get your tickets elsewhere.
Oh Jesus, no. I wish I think if I was to put my name on now, I think it's 28-year waiting list.
Jesus Christ.
28 years.
Fucking
28
hell.
years. So if you're born into a family in Liverpool and you're put on as a baby, you'll be 28 when you get your season ticket. That's the demand, though.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
So what way do you have to go about tickets then? Because I know for Man United, we obviously you can sign up as a member and you can enter in the ballot to get tickets, or maybe if it's a shitter game, you might just get to buy a ticket as a member. But more often than not, you either have to go and get them hospitality tickets, or you have to find somebody that has a season ticket that's willing to lend you it for the weekend or whatever.
Yeah, that's the thing. So up to now, it's kind of been that hospitality way, because I haven't really landed on my feet trying to get people sorting me out. But thankfully for this Leicester game, I've been sorted out. So
yeah,
we're not getting fucking bent over for the price. But I would go every week if I could.
Yeah.
But you'd have to go that expensive way, and it's just not feasible sometimes.
Yeah.
People always give me shite for not going. Like, there's no lack of want for me. You know what I mean? This will be my fourth time going, and that's gonna grow exponentially. Like, and obviously with the more growth I have online, naturally the more connections you have. So hopefully I can land on my feet there and get as many tickets as possible.
Yeah. As you're saying there, but not for the lack of want to go on. You obviously get people on TikTok saying, "Oh, you never go to games. You're only a armchair fan and stuff like that." There, people don't seem to realize, like, for the likes of us living in Ireland, you're going to be out a minimum of £200 before you even step foot in the stadium, and it's just not. Like, you just can't be paying that every week to go, like, unless you're fucking millionaire.
I paid €350 for the ticket in my last game, just the ticket.
Jesus Christ!
Because just for the ticket, €300, €350. Do you know what I mean? And that's
madness. Again,
before you even land in John Lennon Airport.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's the last trip I was on there. Holy Jesus, there was a serious fucking, because I was there for 5 days as well, to be fair. Like, so you're obviously not going to do that every time, but I love the city of Liverpool. The city of Liverpool is fucking majestic. I'd live there in a heartbeat,
Yeah. Funny as you say about buying tickets. The last time I went to United game was United and City. Whenever City battered them 2-0. I actually won.
Is that the one McTominay scored in?
No, it was this season. United didn't touch the ball. United barely touched the ball.
Oh, you lost 2-0?
Aye, we lost 2-0. I've never seen Man United win.
Sorry.
I've never seen United win at Old Trafford. I've been 5 times, I think, and I've never
You've not seen them win yet?
No.
That's tough.
I've seen them 2-2 against Fulham. Whenever David Moyes was manager, the infamous game where they put 80 crosses into the box. I seen them draw 1-1 with Arsenal, get beat 3-0 by City, get beat 2-0 by City.
Maybe you should stop going to Manchester derbies.
maybe I should. But no, that game was awful. Like, I mean, Gary Neville saying it whenever he spoke about Liverpool beat United 5-0. He spoke about the City game. He says United could go and play City in a few weeks' time, and they could get battered more, but only lose 2-0, if you know what I'm saying. Like,
I get you, yeah.
Like, City just walked about, they passed about. United couldn't get anywhere near them. It was fucking disgraceful.
That was a clinic in football by City, but even that game, the Liverpool game, and I was raging. It should have been more than 5. I was like, why are we not going again? Like,
going for the jugular.
I swear to God, like, embarrassed them. Well, it wasn't embarrassment anyway, but
it was 5-0 within the first hour, wasn't it? Within an hour, and then they didn't try after that.
That was an enjoyable game, let me tell you. Oh wow, that was fun.
You recently went over for a wee stadium tours and stuff over in England.
Absolutely, yeah.
Somebody wanted me to ask you this obviously just doesn't include the stadiums you went to, but stadiums overall. What's your favorite stadium you've ever been to, and why is it Old Trafford?
Well, if we're excluding Anfield,
I exclude Anfield.
Obviously, well, if we're excluding, obviously it would have been Anfield, but the Etihad.
The Etihad,
as a facility, that whole
it looks class.
I have to say, I was blown away by just they have everything. Yeah, it really was unreal, and the tour was really good. An old Mancunian man. Oh, I forget his name. he was a good lad though. I'll have to
Mhm.
really good tour. They just their facilities are just immense.
Yeah.
Like, and they literally out of all the stadiums they went that extra.
Yeah.
I had to say the worst stadium tour I'd done that weekend was Anfield because it was the day
Seriously?
after a game and it was fucking packed. It was horrible. There was no tour guide. We were just marched around.
Just a
I've done
free-for-all.
Anfield before on a normal day. Yeah, I've done Anfield before, and I'm not going to do it the next time I'm back because I've seen it. I've done it now.
Yeah.
I went because I was with a group, but yeah, the city tour was unreal. They went that extra mile.
Yeah.
They showed us everything. They even gave us Wolves had just played City that week. They even gave us a bottle of Wolves water from the fridge.
Uh-huh.
You know, they let us use the massage yokes they have and all. It was really good.
Class.
And it's just they really do have everything. It's scary, like
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely the best tour by far. And actually, the Manchester United tour, yeah, in the press room where the manager does his yoke, they actually tried to charge us all for a photo there.
What?
Like,
Fuck's
they were
sake.
like, "Oh, if anyone wants the photo, we'll take it for you, and you can pay for it at the end." I was like, "No thanks, love." Whereas at Man City, they let us sit up there, and there was a CGI Pep Guardiola you could sit beside, and he looked all cool and stuff.
Oh, right.
And
class.
that was all free and everything. That was unreal. Like, and it's just that the little differences, like.
Yeah.
And I remember the tour guide at the United yoke when they were charging the price. I said to the tour guide, "What is this? The Harry Maguire recoup fund?" And he broke his shy laughing. Like, you know when you make a good joke and someone laughs, you just sit back and
take it all.
It was really it was good. Like, people gave me a lot of stick for the Old Trafford one. I don't care. I'm a football fan. You know, I was with a group of friends.
Yeah.
We're in Liverpool. We wanted to go up to Manchester. What's the first thing you could think of? You know.
Yeah.
And I bantered them the whole time. Like, it was great. It's an historical stadium, and I have no qualms about going to it. And I tell you, I'll go to London next. And I'll do Tottenham, I'll do Chelsea, I'll do Arsenal because I'm a football fan and I want to see them.
Oh, I would do the same. I would do the very same. I seen was it Tom Garrett? I think he said something about you doing all that there, but I think he said you don't understand because you're from Ireland, basically. Yeah.
I know, to be fair with him, I agreed because him as a West Brom fan, he's not going to go and do Villa's one. He's not going to go and do Birmingham's one. And a genuine Scouser is not going to go and do the Everton one. I get that completely. And that is the difference. I'm not going to try and act like I'm as much of a fan as a Scouser, born and bred, because naturally I'm not by birth. It's just it's not possible. And I have no qualms in admitting that. But when people say your opinion is worth less because you're not from there, then it's like, no, fuck off. Like, I know I can know as much as you, if not more. But in terms of like your genuine authenticity, naturally as an Irishman, I'm less than a genuine Scouse or a genuine Manc, etc., etc. And that's fair.
Nothing beats the buzz of whenever you do go over a match. It gets to the point like when you go over to a match. And you kind of get jealous that you don't get to do it every week because whenever we went over, we pulled up in a taxi in around the stadium and everybody's out. They're all singing their songs. It's just nothing but fucking obviously United tops and scarves and like just the general buzz around the stadium. The atmosphere is unreal before the game, and even obviously the atmosphere after the game has been shit for me because they haven't won. But
that's tough.
But no, it just makes me jealous that I don't live around that kind of area and get to experience that every Saturday or Sunday or whatever. It'd be unreal.
Yeah, absolutely. There's nothing better for me, that feeling. Again, people have banned me. I've only been 3 times. I've been on a 4th. There's nothing. It's the best feeling in the world. It really is. Like the buzz you get, the excitement you get, and obviously when you support Liverpool these days, it's actually it's get to watch good football. So and I know there's something you just get that feeling about you. It hits different. It really does. And I'm jealous of all the ones who go every week. I would love to go every week, and that's why one day I'll move to Liverpool and we'll do our best to get there every week.
My one of my bosses is actually a Liverpool fan, and he goes right and often. I'd say he goes to nearly every home game if he can. Like, he was over at the semi-final of the Carabao Cup there in London, wasn't it?
Oh, lovely. Yeah.
He was over there, but no, it'll be class. I think he was actually over in Madrid at the time that they won the Champions League. Don't know if he was at the match, God. but he was in Madrid at the time anyway. He actually offered one of my friends one time to go over to the Liverpool and Barcelona match in Anfield, the one that he offered my friend to go over to that. Now, my friend isn't a Liverpool fan, but he said no. And I think you're a fucking idiot for not going over to that match. I think Liverpool were down, like they were getting beaten
4-0.
Yeah, so he thought, no, fuck, I'm not going to that there. Then he misses the fucking one of the best Champions League moments ever.
If I could be in the crowd historically for any Liverpool game ever.
But
I know a lot of people would say Istanbul, but I genuinely think it'd be that because it was the shock factor was unreal. Like I'm watching it even just in a home. Like I'm jealous of any man, woman, or child that was in that stadium.
Yeah,
because like it was biblical almost, and the fact that it was against Suarez and Coutinho as well was extra spicy. You know,
unreal.
Class.
What would be your earliest Liverpool memory, or when did you like? At what age would you say you started supporting Liverpool? Or who got you into liking football? Because for me, I started supporting Man United probably in 1997 or 1998 because I just seen David Beckham. I had seen his goal from the halfway line on TV, and I just thought he was cool as fuck. And I thought, you know what, I'm supporting Man United because of David Beckham. So was there anybody that got for you?
Yeah. I was gonna say you're probably hating, but you actually had a lot of good years to be fair, so you're probably happy enough. But I think it was from the age of about 7, so you're talking about 2004 ish. And you know, growing up, my dad was never really into football, but it would have been my godfather who was a big Liverpool man, and I was very close with him growing up, and still am obviously. So he was the one that got me into it, and then he like it was him. I didn't have one of them moments like you, unfortunately, but I just started sporting because of him, just in time for the Champions League. But like as a Liverpool fan, historically, we've had more bad moments than not. Like, you know, obviously it's been great the last few years, but my childhood and school times was ruined by Ferguson and Man United. Like I never had any, you know, gloating moments really. You know? 07 Champions League final loss. I remember crying my eyes out in the back garden and my cousin's gaff at that. Fucking Kristan Bull, like, you know, Gerrard slipping, Carey is in the final. You know what I mean? Like, so we've had our fair share of downs. Thankfully, we've had a good few ups in the last while, and now I'm old enough and bold enough to appreciate them all and experience them to a degree. But I'm happy. I would never change it for the world. Liverpool till I die.
That's where I would get a bit jealous because like all the good United moments that I've had, I was too young nearly to enjoy them as much as I would now. If you know what I mean? Like obviously the 99 Champions League final, I was only 8 or 9, and I didn't like obviously watch football. I didn't understand properly as I would now, and
you don't appreciate it as much naturally because you're a kid. But the older you get, the more experience you get naturally. The more into it you get. Yeah,
you enjoy it a lot more. Like I would just like
absolutely.
Like I'm going over, obviously, as I said, to the Atletico Madrid. I don't even care if I'm in the stadium. Like even if I was in the bar watching the match just with a pile of United fans on a big screen or something, that would be unbelievable. If like United scored and beer flying everywhere, that'd be unreal.
That's what I love about Dublin, living beside Dublin. There's the bar Murray's in town in O'Connell Street. Like that's a big Liverpool bar. So when Liverpool were in the 2 Champions League finals, we were all there for that. Like, and I'd say we'll go there again for the Carabao Cup final. But I was thinking like of renting out a pub in Dublin and like doing a big event like for the final or something. Class. I think you do. Get all the Liverpool TikTokers or even non-Liverpool TikTokers, whatever. Like, do a big event. Like it'd be great crack. Just especially now the restrictions are lifted completely down here now. So back to kind of normal of just pure fucking degeneracy. You know what I mean? But you know, as you said, that's what I said to me, mate. Like Astrid Wet was on to me because he's a Chelsea fan. We were obviously having a bit of chat the last while. She's like, oh, if Liverpool get to the final, I'll be able to get you a ticket. And I was like, oh, lovely. I messaged her about it. Hadn't heard nothing since. But listen, I was saying to me, mate, I'd nearly go to London just to soak up the atmosphere, like of that. Like, it's all about the atmosphere. It's unreal. Like, and you know, the passion. Like, people always slag us foreign fans and all. Or not everyone, like some people do, but like the passion we have is we nearly show more passion because we have to do so much extra just to get over, you know. So don't ever question foreign fans' passion or integrity, because I tell you, we're just as much as yous.
I think it's the people that don't really know too much about football that slag the foreign fans. Like anybody who with half a brain knows that the foreign fans maybe contribute more to like the likes of Liverpool and Man United and all, because obviously they're worldwide global brands. And if it wasn't for the foreign fans and stuff, they wouldn't be as big.
100%. But the thing I find funny, they don't complain about foreign players or foreign staff. It's just the foreign fans. Like, but do they expect the whole team to be 11 Scousers or 11 Manx? No, that's not. Maybe back in the day, but you know what I mean. It's just double standards as well. Like, and the Liverpool like fans, Scousers call non-Liverpool fans wolves. And like they always complain about Wolves who have they blame bad atmospheres on them. It's like why are you trying to create a divide in the fan base? You know, Liverpool are what they are because it's a global, worldwide fan base.
Yeah.
Without foreign fans, they wouldn't be half the club they are. The same with every other big club. Like so, you just gotta like it or lump it. Like if you want just no foreign fans, go support fucking AFC Liverpool or something. Do you know what I mean? And that's why they're not as successful because they're just limited to what they are.
Yeah.
Just local people. And don't get me wrong, that's great as well to be just local and have that extra little family feel. But it's a global brand at this stage. It's a global like superpower. Don't cry about it.
Yeah. Would you ever like to go to like a lower league match in England, or like a non-league match in England, just to like see what sort of atmosphere that has?
Absolutely. Well, obviously, like I do that. I started supporting recently, like last season, Bohemians, because they're my local Irish league team.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. Did you support any? Where are Bohemians?
Yeah, well, I didn't. Which?
Where are Bohemians at? Are they?
They're in Phibsborough in Dublin.
Right.
So like people always said, support your local, and I was like, okay, I will. Bohemians, they're my the nearest League of Ireland team.
Yeah.
So started supporting them. But like I've gone to like 3 or 4 of the games. They went to the final. They were in there, the FA Cup final. But like it's hard. Like no club will ever match Liverpool for me. I could never just faction that up out of nowhere. Like Liverpool will always be Liverpool. I couldn't. It's just there's something about it. You're intertwined with it. It's more than just a club. It's more than just football. It's like your personality almost. Like when Liverpool lose or something bad happens, it affects me mood. And people will be like, oh, that's sad, it's only football, but like you clearly don't understand football if you think that.
If Man United lose a game, I'm usually in a bad mood for the rest of the day. Like
fact.
I was thinking there whenever they lost on I think it was the day after New Year's Day or 2 years. See, if I had been like in my old job where I was working like 9 to 5 every day on a Monday, I would actually have considered not going in on the Monday morning just because of how annoyed I'd have been. It would have been after the Christmas holidays. I'd have been annoyed at the fact I was going back to work anyway. But like when United losing would have just topped it all off, because you had to go in and you had to listen to people that maybe don't watch football or aren't half interested in it. They just want to slag Man United off.
I know, I get you. You mustn't have gone into work a lot in the last 5 years.
I actually was on furlough. I actually got furloughed on March 2020, and I was on furlough for a full year, and then I took my redundancy from work. So I did. So
happy days, good luck. Thanks for the change.
It was brilliant. I was in the job for 10 years, and then just, you know what, I don't want to do that anymore. I think COVID was like a big kind of reset for me. So it was, but
you just kind of that, for a lot of people as well, just kind of seeing the light. Maybe it's like that's what I listen, and then I there's nothing wrong with working a 9 to 5 and if you're slogging your arse off for a job you despise, it's gonna.
It's not worth it. Yeah, that's not worth it.
No,
it's not worth it.
And even if you can. Exactly. And if you have to take a hit on your money, obviously some people have they have to get to this level because they have people to support.
Yeah.
If you can get by and coast for a few months and try and work on yourself and what you actually want to do, I would recommend everyone to do that, because you need to, you'll kill yourself. Like you'll will yourself down if you're slaving for someone else in a job you despise. Yeah. So and that's why I'm lucky now. I've kind of found my niche, and we're gonna go with it while it comes before I fall off.
Yeah. Yeah. I know a lot of people are in this mindset where everybody's looking forward to the weekend all the time. They're kind of just wishing 5 days of the week away to get 2 days of the weekend. And like, obviously, like that's a lot of people think that, but I'm at the stage where if I'm in a job and I don't want to be doing it, like I'm not going to stick around and waste time on it. You know what I mean?
I'm the same. And if I've ever been in a job I don't like, I'm not just gonna sit there and kiss someone's arse. I'd be gone. Like fuck that.
Obviously you do social media basically full time and all now, don't you? You are like,
basically the whole shebang, as they say. Thankfully.
Twitch, TikTok, Instagram, anything else? Or do you have any part?
We're doing that, obviously. Doing Anfield Agenda now on YouTube as well, which is a new thing for me, which I'm really enjoying. It's just a nice platform to be able to talk about Liverpool, and it's it's nice to be an employee, if you will, part of something bigger. So it's not you're not just calling the shots all the time, because that can be it's nice to just be able to literally just come on and talk. Like it's great. So Craig is a legend over there. So we're adding strings to our bow as we go. There's a couple of more things in the horizon. It just never stops. You just got to keep going, and keep trying to find new things and the next big thing. There's always something new coming along. You always kind of got to stay on top of things. Like, don't get me wrong, I feel like I could be doing. I feel like, you know, there's a lot more proactive people out there than me in the world. You know, in every walk of life. Like, I can kind of settle sometimes, but I'm just trying to make sure I don't let myself dwindle away. And you gotta, in this game, as they say, you gotta just keep going and strike while the iron's hot.
Yeah, it's good. Like, just to see the likes of you and Heinz Baines, obviously, and Luke Bennett, like, that you don't have to have millions and millions of followers to make a living on social media. You can, like, I don't know what way it works, but or how much you get, or like if you earn lots of money or whatever the fucking crack is. But there is ways of making money with maybe 100,000 followers or whatever amount of followers it is, and there are other avenues you can go down. Because I think there's a lot of people put off by social media because of what other people might say. Like, there's people who might want to post on YouTube, they might want to start a YouTube channel, they might want to start a TikTok, but they're feared of getting hate, or maybe their friends saying, why would you do that and all that there. Do you ever had anything like that? Probably not, because you're obviously, like, you've been down the acting kind of route anyway, so like you've been on Rory stories, and obviously people love you whenever you're successful, but maybe you're only starting out, they might think, what are you at? Like,
yeah, well, exactly. I mean, like, I've been grinding social media since I was about 16 with Rory, so that's coming up on nearly 10 years, which is fucking insane. So I've kind of been, you know, used to that kind of. There is, and we got a lot of negative stuff with Rory, but Rory's was always very good at dealing with hate. He always was like, never, ever, ever feed into the hate. Never give them attention. Don't reply to them, because once you do that, they see you're weak and they'll strike. They're like piranhas. They're like, you know. Once you like, and I see people like reply to hate videos all the time, hate comments, like, you are just asking for more. Just don't give them any attention. But, and listen, don't get me wrong, hate is a part and parcel of social media. You are never going to get it's not always going to be positive, but that's just the walk of life. But for every one negative comment I get 100 good, or you know what I mean? So people ask me all the time, how do I deal with the hate? Because I do get a little bit, but I don't deal with it, because I don't have to deal with it. I don't look at it. I don't care. Some random person's opinion on me, if it's negative, is irrelevant to me. I'm never going to see them. They're never going to see me. They're just words on a screen. Don't get me wrong. When it's randomers giving me good, then I take my time to reply to them when I can. I like to think I'm good at that. I always try and reply to people in my comments. You know, they're taking the time out of their day. I'll take the time out of my day. You know, so I look at the good rather than the bad, and just you know, but some people aren't that way inclined. Some people are too sensitive, and maybe some people just aren't meant for social media. That is a fact. You can't just if you're overly sensitive and you're going to look at every single comment, don't go on social media, because you let it eat you up. You have to be able to just learn to let it, like water off a duck's back, just let it go down. Who gives a shite? Their opinion is irrelevant. All that matters is what you think. And if you're enjoying yourself, that's the main thing. Just do content you enjoy. And that's the key to social media. You know, just keep cracking on. If you're happy, that's all that matters.
Yeah. What about Twitch? How are you finding Twitch these days? You are obviously on TikTok and all that. Did you know what Twitch was before, or did people start saying, "Oh, you should start streaming on Twitch"? Is that an avenue you looked into after TikTok?
No, I definitely always knew about Twitch, and always had in the back of my head that, like, my mates, like, from playing games with my mates always say, "Oh my god, you should stream this, you'd be gas." And I just got into it, but I've been horribly inconsistent on Twitch. I think I've been on it like a year, maybe we'll say. And I'm nearly on 30,000 followers. It's great. But like on Twitch, out of any platform in the world, if you're not consistent, you lose any traction you have. Like I could have been I was averaging 100 easily for a while. And then I had like a big break where my foot champ story of not being able to qualify kind of went a bit viral. And at one point I had 3,000 people in my live stream, and I was like, holy fuck, here we go. This is it. This is where I'm going to be able to at least get like 500 of them to come and stay. And for a while I did, maybe because I was inconsistent, they didn't stick around. Naturally, I don't blame them. And I took like a month off. I just didn't stream for a month. And that's just you can't do that. That's like that is Twitch suicide. But I'm back now. I've been back like streaming for 2 weeks regularly. we're doing well again. But Twitch is tough, like
Yeah.
like it's hard to make good money off Twitch directly. Like
they're miserable.
like thankfully, like with my watch-alongs, I have a sponsor in Manscaped, so that's great. That's external. But from Twitch themselves, like to make a living, it's very tough. You have to be hitting like, I don't know, like 1,000 viewers, I'd say.
You would need a hell of a lot of subs and hell of a lot of even just subs. You need bits more than anything, bits and donations and stuff like that there, because Twitch changed their prices of subs. Like you used to have to pay a $5. It was $4.99 or whatever. But us in the UK, or I don't know what it was down south, but we would have had to pay a $5 for a sub. But the streamer, they would have then converted that to $5. And then they give you half, so you were getting $2.50 for a sub, and then obviously there's tax taken out of it before they give it to you, so you're maybe only getting $2 for every sub you're getting. It's fucking tough.
Yeah, subs are like actually probably as you said, probably the worst thing.
They're good, but they're the least. That's where the least money comes from in terms of things.
If I was just doing Twitch. If I was just doing Twitch, it's not a hope you can make a living off that just now. Like, no way. Like, you need to be big. Like, obviously, Pieface and all the boys, like, they're flying. That and fair play to them. Like, they get like 700 subs a stream. Yeah. Well, Pieface, for example, I'd say.
Yeah.
So that's unreal. Like, obviously, but like, you'd probably need like 500 a month, maybe.
Yeah. Probably. I
don't know. If you think of the maths,
I'd say if you were getting 500 subs a month on Twitch, you would be getting enough bits and maybe donations from people along with it that would keep you taking over. But yeah,
I haven't had it's always I haven't had a donation in a while. I'll tell you, fucking hell.
Sometimes you get.
But I feel like I don't like begging either.
Yeah, no, I'm happy to just. You're happy to just sit and play there, but like, you kind of hope it comes, but you don't want to beg for it.
Oh yeah. As much as it's nice for people to feel that they want to do that, that's great. I'm very humbled by it.
Yeah.
But like I since I've came back on Twitch, I've turned my ads off. I don't want any ads because I'm like, I want to just get people in again. It's the viewers are the key for me. Like I want to be able to banter with my chat and have a bouncing chat constantly. I don't want to be. Twitch is one of them where, like, if you fall off, for example, you'll know it on Twitch because you're live, like, and it's like, where's the comments, like, what's going on? So. And live stream, I can't, when I'm live, I can't, if you're on Streamlabs or whatever, I can't have my viewer total there. I can't see who's in there. It'll get into your head then.
Yeah. Funny, a lot of people say that, turn your viewer count off. I don't think I could do that. I really don't think I could do that. Like, I don't know. I think I've watched a few.
I have to.
So you're sitting there.
I check it though. Don't get me wrong. Like, I check it every now. I can't help. Like I'm one of them where I'll check it. Like, oh, we're doing all right, and then turn it back off again.
It's hard.
But it gets into your head, and then if it
does,
because I'm the guy. I'm the type of guy where if I'm looking at the total and it's bad for me, I'll be like, I'm ending the stream. This is shit. Then people clearly don't want to watch this. So
100% get what you mean. It probably is worth turning it off, but like it can put you in a good mood or put you in a bad mood depending on, like, obviously if your viewers are down or your viewers are up. Like if your viewers are up, you're gonna be happy and stuff like that there, but then the opposite effect if they're down.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, Twitch is it's hard. Sometimes it can be hard to go on Twitch and stream. Like FIFA for me is a game that it can really, really, really get you down, or you can like stop
on your bank.
You can stop wanting to play FIFA, and then you're thinking, I don't really want to play FIFA, but at the same time, I want to stream. You're like, I really want to go on to play FIFA here. Do you get moments?
That's what happened to me though. I got sick of FIFA. I got fucking sick. I was like, I don't want to play this game, and I can't force myself to play. Because I can't. I know some people do. I just couldn't do it. I was like, I don't want to go on and play this. And if I don't want to do it, that's going to emanate on the screen. Yes. People are going to be like, he's not vibing here. Like this is going to be a shit stream. So it's like, there's a degree of like forcing yourself, I suppose. Like I would say, if you're just feeling like, I won't stream, you have to just treat streaming as a job in your head. Like, no, I'm clocking in now. I have to stream. And that's what I've battled with. Like, and for example, I could be sitting there, like the lads were like, do you want to go for pints the other night? And I was like, no, I can't. I have to stream. I have to play foot champs. But I could have easily, like a month ago, been like, we'll go for pints, and then I lose the chat, and then you don't stream for a day. You could lose people that were like, they people need a routine. They love a routine.
Yeah, they need to know when.
I want people to, exactly. They need to know
when you're on and what night you're going to be on and what time. Otherwise, like
And
you'll start to fall off.
that's the thing. The thing about Twitch is if you can get people sitting at home going, and part of their routine will be, oh, I have to watch Paddy tonight.
Yeah.
That's when you're laughing. And do you know what? It's on Twitch, like obviously numbers on TikTok, you want to be hitting hundreds of thousands, but on Twitch, like if you have a core little group, I'm buzzing with that. And I do, like I have great, like to all the people that have been there from day one that have still stuck around through all the inconsistencies, they're heroes. Like, and whenever if please God, one day if I get huge on there, I would never ever forget the people that started out with me, and I'd always remember
100%
and bring them with me. You know, that's the key.
Yeah. It's funny, like as you say, but then if you get inconsistent, you lose viewers. It is like it's 100%. You never, like I never ever see Pieface or Run the Foot Market or Castro or any of them bigger streamers take an extended break. Like they're like I've never ever seen a case where they maybe go on holidays for 2 weeks and they're not streaming. Like obviously they'll not fall off as such, but they might lose a few thousand viewers. They still could be sitting on thousands of viewers, but they could drop. That could be a drop for them. Like that could be their way of falling off as such.
It's funny you say that because I was in Pie's stream the other night and he actually talked about this. He said he's almost like too paranoid to go away for too long a time because it's like he's a workaholic, like he's so obsessed because he's worked his arse off as well, like to get to where he is. But Twitch is one of those apps. It's unforgiving. You would lose people, like for sure. Like it's a pain. Like, but nearly if you go away, you nearly want to bring your setup with you and you know stream it. It's a tough one. Like, I have to go away again for 4 days to Liverpool, but I'm honestly like I don't want to like be gone for 4 days streaming, so I might just honestly like try and do a stream over there, even if it's just like
IRL, IRL stream.
You know what I mean? For an hour or something. That could be all right. I know people go live on TikTok. I think just to keep yourself updated. People are like, and even if there's only a few people in, at least they're updated then and know the crack. Like,
I want to come back to Astrid and Cal and Simon. I don't know if we properly went over all this, but do you think that you know the way obviously Simon and Astrid were out on, I think it was Friday night or whatever, and like people were telling Cal, and Cal looked like he was getting annoyed about it or upset about it, and people were calling Simon a snake. Do you think that Cal knew all this was happening, and it's all a kind of like they knew they were going to do this, and it's all for views? Because like Cal will obviously gain views and gain support from that. And so will them. Like all eyes will be on all three of them at the same time. So like I don't think there was any snakiness in it. I think it was all set up as such.
But the thing, this is what like I'm pally with all of them. I'm friendly with Astrid. We chat a lot. Simon as well. I was and Cal. We follow each other and all that and talk. So this is what I'm gonna say is like they're all adults. They're all like Astrid and Simon. They're grown people. They're adults. You know. Cal doesn't own Astrid, so this whole idea of snaking Simon, I'm baffled by it, to be honest. It's like they only went out for a few drinks, like, do you know what I mean? Cal, like, and Simon has looked after Cal exponentially over the last while. And don't get me wrong, at the start I was like also a bit like, but Simon, like, not from knowing him, he's proved everyone wrong. He looks after Cal. And obviously Cal came out and said, you know, I have autism, so and whether if you knew it or not, maybe you could have maybe knew that maybe Cal may have been on the spectrum, and he's come out there and said it's a fair play to him. But Simon looks after him like a dad almost. He's always live with him.
He's been live with him. He's been live with him for every day for what I would say a year. Like I always seen him even before I knew Simon, like who Simon was. I was like, who's that fella that's always live with Cal? Like, is he a fucking relative or something? But no, he looks after him.
And people are like, oh, Simon's a clout chaser. It's like that's a lot of work to be. He's looking after him. Cal appreciates, and they're as he said in his live last night, they're up doing the business together. He looks after Cal financially and stuff. Simon's a good man, and like going out for a few drinks with Astrid was just a bit of crack because they're two creators, and like they're doing a collab. Like I actually knew about the collab before. Astrid was like, oh, I'm doing a big collab with someone. She said in the live, and I was like, Astrid, DM me who that is, and I seen who it was. I told her that's going to break the internet before anything happens. That's going to break the internet, and it fucking certainly did. By the way, but as I said, they're all fucking adults. Like Simon can do what he wants, and Astrid can do what she wants. People are like getting upset about for Cal on his behalf, but they're also the same people that have been giving Cal dogs abuse for a year.
Yeah.
Just all hollow bullshit. They'll go with the wind. Whoever's current, whoever's in the right, they'll go with them. It's all bullshit. Whereas behind the scenes, Cal, Astor, and Simon are all friends and they're all happy out.
Yeah.
So people are getting upset over something that they shouldn't. Like, if Cal's not upset, you shouldn't be getting upset. So move on with your life. Like,
yeah. Do you talk to many other big TikTokers or Twitch streamers? Like you mentioned Pie, like you said about Pieface there. Would you ever spoke to Pieface, or do you talk to anybody like that? Or
I've spoke to Pie through his stream because I subbed the Pie like, and so me arse. So and I think I won a couple of giveaways on Pieface's channel, and so at one point I won like a £20. So he followed me and then gifted me 5 subs. So Pie definitely knows the crack with me, and I've tweeted him a few times. So I like Pie, like, and like I enjoy. Pie's a legend. So hopefully one day we can collaborate or something. We'll see.
People like to see the tick, the wee purple tick on Twitch whenever you're in the streams. Like you can go into anybody's stream and you'll be noticed. Yeah,
but I hate doing that sometimes because I bet you they feel like I'm only doing that. Like, like I was commenting on Pie's stream before a tick, but I feel like when he sees me commenting with a tick, he's thinking he's just looking for clout. I genuinely with Pie, I'm not. Like I just like Pie. Like I've watched him for years. I could sit and watch Pie's whole stream like and have it on the background like when I'm around. I just enjoy. He's very like. I mean, I feel like we are very like-minded. Like, but maybe he might have seen my anti-England Euros videos. So maybe he's not a big fan. Who knows?
Yeah, but definitely the purple tick. Well, no matter whose stream you're on or what the stream, if somebody comes into a stream with a purple tick, they're gonna get fucking good treatment from no matter who the treatment or the streamer is. Like if you went into somebody with 10 viewers and you're the purple tick, they're gonna be like, oh, there's somebody who's verified or whatever. There's a Twitch partner. It's so
actually,
true,
it's funny you say that. I got followed by Adam B the other day on my stream.
Adam B.
He's like Castro's editor, and everyone in the chat was like freaking out, going, "Holy fuck, is that the real one?" They're like, "Oh, yes, it is. Yes, it is." I was like, "What the hell?" I had heard of him before, but I was like, lads, I didn't want to make a big deal out of it because he's probably thinking that'd be icky. Like, what is he doing? Like, shut up. I'm not. I was like, oh, nice for that, appreciate that. Like, but if you start licking their arse, to be like, oh, he's only like he's only loving it. Like, I'm not. I don't like because there is people like that who try and like the amount of DMs. Like I had this fella DM me. He's like, will you give me a shout out on will you give me a shout out on TikTok or on your Instagram and I'll give you a discount on a jersey. Like, are you fucking off your nut, mate? A discount on a jersey? You didn't even offer the jersey. Like, no, obviously not. I don't owe you anything. Like, and like I help people out where I can, give shout outs and all. But like, if I was to shout out every person ever who asked me to do a shout out, like, how's that going to work? Like, you know, it's tough. Like, there is people who just try and latch on to you as well. Like, and like that, I can only, and that's me being a nobody. I can only imagine the big boys. Like,
do you get many DMs on Twitch or not even Twitch, TikTok and Instagram and stuff like that there? Like people maybe, I don't know, asking you questions or looking shout outs, as you say, or maybe looking advice. Like, what would your DMs look like?
Yeah, there's a lot, like, and there's a lot, and I go through them, and then for the genuine ones that are asking genuine questions, I'll always reply to them. Absolutely, but like, obviously, there's always people. Oh, will you follow me on TikTok? I was like, no, I'm not gonna follow you on TikTok just because you've DM'd me. Like,
they maybe don't even make videos. They just have an account. Just follow me.
Want me to follow just for the sake of following? Like, nah, like, no. But there is people that ask me genuine questions and give me genuine love, and I'll always reply to them. And yes, then there's obviously the flip side of people giving me hate and stuff.
Yeah.
But again, you don't reply to that. If I have an Instagram request and it's hate, I'm not going to reply.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be like, because then he's going to be like, yes, mission successful.
Yeah.
And then that make him do it again. So, it's fun. Instagram DMs are quite funny. Like,
would you get many in a day?
I don't think it varies. Like, I think I the last time I cleared it out was like last week, and I cleared it out last night again, and there was a 40 brand new ones. Like, so it varies. Like, there's a lot. You get a lot of shite as well. Like, but it's funny. I can only imagine like really famous people's ones. Can you imagine? I say really famous. I'm not famous, by the way, but like famous people's ones.
Yeah.
Like, I say it must be a fucking minefield.
What do you think of now? I would say there's people who are in a similar position to you, maybe with even less followers, who maybe don't go through DMs or don't reply to DMs or they don't listen to anybody. What would your thoughts be on that there? Like,
Yeah, I mean, like it wouldn't be me. But then again, like nobody has a divine right to have to reply to you. Of course, they will always say. But for me, like if I upload a TikTok, I'll reply to every single comment for the first hour when I can. Obviously, after an hour and it filters out even more, it's hard to keep up. But for the first, like if you look at my TikTok comments, I reply to every comment, give or take, for the first hour that it's up. Because I think it's important to curate the TikTok. You have to like help it get it out there. But it's also like the people are. It's only a comment, like it's not a big deal. And obviously it's hard to reply to every message, but I think you should always reply when you can. Like, who are you really at the end of the day? You know what I mean? Like, don't act like you're Billy Big Bollocks. Like, you know what I mean? None of us are anything special. Like, obviously, if you're Justin Bieber, one of the really uber famous people, you physically can't. Like, you should reply when you can.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
No, because there has been times in the past. I think it was maybe my early days of streaming on Twitch. I maybe had wrote to a few people just asking for advice on like Twitch streaming and stuff. Not a reply. Obviously, they don't have to reply, but whenever you maybe see them in a video saying that their DMs and stuff are open for people, like, no, are they really?
No, they're not. I know, yeah. And that's tough. I like, especially people asking for advice. I will 1,000,000% every single one I ever get, I'd reply to. You know? Obviously, you have to fit. There's filters there for a reason. You have to filter through some of them. Like, but yeah, no. Like, if someone's ever asking for advice, if someone's ever thinking your advice is valuable, enough, I would take that. I'd be humbled by that and be like, oh, absolutely, mate. Here you go. This is what I think. Not that I know everything, but this can help.
If they think you're good enough to give advice, like obviously they think your advice matters. Like,
exactly.
At the end of the day,
fact.
Which is, I just can't get my head around. No, obviously, because I'm not in a position where I would get like a load of DMs or anything like that. There, I don't know what somebody who has a lot of followers DM inbox or whatever looks like, so I don't know how hard it might be to manage. But then you don't know these things.
Yeah, of course. Oh, it definitely varies from person to person, obviously.
Yeah. So what would your advice be for somebody who maybe wants to grow on TikTok, regardless of whatever their niche is? Because sometimes I think people can give up very easily on TikTok if they're not seeing growth, like nearly instantly. People are impatient, I think, if they don't see instant growth.
Yeah, no. I think for the first key point about making TikToks is make videos on a topic on you're passionate about. That's the number one rule. If you're making videos on something you're passionate about, it'll be made easy for you. But you just don't. If you're starting TikToks from having no social media presence, you can't expect miracles. It's not magically going to happen. But with TikTok, there is a good chance that it'll be picked up. Make sure you use relevant hashtags and talk about relevant things, and it'll get out there. It will. You just have to keep plugging away. And if the first 5 flop, the 6th one might not, and that could be the one that sets you off. You just got to keep going and keep going. And listen, if you're doing it for 6 months and you still haven't had anything, then maybe you're doing something wrong, and you can go back to the drawing board. And that's it's all about short form content, 1 minute, no spoofing, just boom. Something you're passionate about, talk about topical things, share your opinion. Because when you share your opinion, it's immediately divisive. So someone disagrees, someone agrees, and then it creates a conversation. And hey, presto, boom, you're laughing. So that's what I would say.
Do you believe that trending sounds and trending hashtags work on videos?
Trending sounds 1,000,000%, yes. Always. 100% yes. But if you're just putting in the background over you, I think you just got to do the trend. If you're just putting in the background, it's like that's kind of hard.
Yeah, like, but if you're in the background, turn it down or something.
Like that's not going to magically blow it up. I don't think. No. But if you're like just following the trend, that definitely will. They'll always get out there. Hashtags. The jury's still out on hashtags for me, because in the last couple of months I've stopped hashtags and I use my own hashtag, Paddy Murphy, and that's not as a vain thing. That's purely to track the views.
I've seen a lot of people doing that, where they use their own name as a hashtag or whatever, so that when you can go search that up, you can see how many views your name has got.
Exactly, and that's why I do it. People might think it's a vain thing of you wanting to go search and see other people's. Absolutely not. Now, don't get me wrong; it's kind of turned into that, where if anyone's uploading anything about me, they'll put that on because it just makes sense. However, I literally do it and have done it from the start just to be able to track the views, because otherwise there's nowhere really you can check your all-time views anywhere. Like you go into the analytics, but I think it only shows you up to 2 months. So you want to be able to see it. Like on that, I think Cal the Dragon's one has like 1.7 billion. So he's a monster. So
Jesus. How many does Mr. Paddy Murphy have?
Well, I'll tell you now, sir. We'll see now. God, that video flopped. What is up with TikTok? 150 million.
150 million. Holy fuck.
Yeah. So that's not all. It's not like So it's decent.
Have Liverpool reached out to you or anything for a video or anything like that? No.
No, not just yet. No, I don't think. No.
I asked Luke Bennett about Wolves, and I was shocked that they hadn't reached out, and that the likes of Chelsea and all had used his videos or his sound and stuff like that there, but hadn't asked him to do a video. But
yeah,
I'm surprised that football teams aren't maybe trying to get on board with football TikTokers like yourself, or like even I know, like, is it Tom Guard Sports West Brom? Is it like get him on for a fucking video? Wolves get Luke Bennett. Like it's a market that could be tapped into from the football teams. Maybe they don't see it as a big thing, but I think it's
absolutely. I think it.
Into.
Yeah, I think it's subjective based on the size of the club. I feel like Liverpool don't need anyone like me to get views, you know. But I've actually worked with Wolves myself before. With the esports, like doing a competition with them. But you know, it's surprising that like Wolves hadn't got onto Luke Bennett, like or West Brom, Tom. You know, a lot of clubs are very old fashioned and they don't don't realize the power of TikTok. But they'll get there. But if I ever get to do anything with Liverpool themselves, that'd be a dream come true. That's for sure.
I know you LA Galaxy are quite they're in every video on, like, you could be in the most random video on TikTok, you go in the comments to see LA Galaxy have commented on it. I think they maybe we're in a live with you one time and you were saying for them to fly you out and all that there, you would do a TikTok with them. Have they had spoke to you about anything?
No, we haven't got to there yet, but you know, LA Galaxy are very good on the social media, but I'd love to do that. I would love to go to LA anyway, but if I'm ever in LA, I'm sure I'll be able to rock up there and see if we can organize something with them. But I don't think I'd expect them to fly me out. I'm not that guy just yet. I'd probably fly out Cal the Dragon, which would be fair enough, but it'd be great experience. I'm sure they're not short of a few quid. Like,
have you any plans to do any traveling this year, or like obviously you're going to London or whatever for football match stuff, but do you plans to go anywhere further afield?
We've a couple of things penciled in. Obviously Liverpool in February, maybe even Amsterdam in March. Liverpool again in March, London in May, Wales in July for that other charity match, the Match for Mind. But I definitely want to go further afield, like, for sure. I'd love to move away, to be honest, for a while, because I can work remotely now, kind of. So, I'd love to move somewhere with the lads, like go somewhere like real cheap, you know, somewhere a good low cost of living, but it's a nice place, like somewhere like Thailand or something like that. I don't know.
Thailand,
definitely potential.
Really, Thailand?
Maybe not Thailand, but like Bali, or I'd love to go somewhere Spanish speaking, actually, because I can speak a bit of Spanish and I'd love to brush up on it even more. Like live somewhere for a year and then come back with fluent Spanish would be a dream.
That'll be class. I'm surprised you don't maybe just go to Liverpool for a year and try and get to all the matches.
That's good. That's in the future, hopefully. Absolutely.
Yeah. So what are we saying about the restrictions just being lifted? The bars are back open. You can get your pints.
Yeah, happy days. But I've kind of like, I used to be a mad drinker, but the older I'm getting, I'm like, it's losing its appeal to me. It's like I'm gonna do it very seldomly and enjoy it more. But if you just do it the whole time, it's like it's too expensive. It's detrimental for your health, and it's like the depression and the hangovers after are not really worth it. But as depressed as that sounds, we'll have a few here and there. Don't get me wrong. When I go at it chocolate very hard. But, we're trying to
Paddy,
look, as you said, look. We're trying to look after ourselves. You said up for those games in England, just to make sure we're looking nice and trim. But we'll definitely, when we're over in those places, we certainly will have an old dabble in a pint or two.
Yeah, to be fair, I prefer just having like a few pints. See that fucking going out to get completely blocked, completely wrote off. That doesn't really appeal to me. Like, yes, if we're going on a night out, if I get blocked, I get blocked, but I'm not going out with the intention of getting blocked. I just love getting into the bar, having a handful of pints. That's what I love.
And enjoying the crack.
Yeah, enjoying the crack. Having a pint of Guinness or whatever. What's your favorite pint? Guinness, would it be?
As an experience, yes, but I think like it depends on the situation. Absolutely. Like, you know, Guinness, I love Guinness, but you know yourself, it gets very heavy, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like, it can do, but I love a good. If it's good Guinness, you'll swallow them like no. Like
a good Guinness.
I was over in
like sweet milk.
Oh, literally, like I was over in Liverpool in the Irish bar Lanigan's, and honestly, I don't know how or why, but it was the best Guinness I've ever had.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was because they were extra cold or something. I was
Right.
knocking them back like fucking water. They were unreal. Like wow, like mother's milk. But when it's a Shyte Guinness, you'll only have one or two, and that'll be the end of it. But no, I love a Guinness, but obviously a beer. I'm a Moretti or Peroni man, but they're obviously they are the creme.
They are the
when the pints get too much, we'll gravitate over the old vodka to speed up the process. Hey, that's when the process goes downhill. Also,
definitely, I can't have the vodka now. But I usually say there about having a good pint of Guinness in Liverpool. They say that once you go, the further you go to Ireland, the worse the pints of Guinness get. And I think that has to be a myth. Otherwise, Guinness wouldn't be a fucking global brand. Like, it has to be nice in other countries.
It's a load of bollocks. It's a load of bollocks. Like, naturally, the less travel has to do, you know. But the pint of Guinness I had in the Guinness storehouse was not in my top 20.
Serious?
Not in my top 20. Nice taste and all, but it was lukewarm. It was meh. Like, so that's a fucking myth. Like, you know, Irish people are so obnoxious when it comes to that. Oh, jeez, it looks like an all right pint considering it wasn't made in Ireland. Like, it's all from Ireland. It's all the same shite. It's all about in the pub itself, the distance to the barrel and all that, and the temperature and so on. If you get that right and it doesn't have far to travel and you get the temperature right, you'll have a good pint of Guinness. It's simple. Yeah. It's simple, like mathematics, even to a degree. So yeah, no, that's a load of bollocks. Like, naturally, like in Ireland, we perfect it more frequently than anywhere else. Like in foreign bars around the world where they wouldn't have that duty of care towards it. Like, they wouldn't have they wouldn't respect it as much in some places. Yeah, that's the difference, I think. But in terms of a product, it can travel well and be fine.
Exactly. So it's hard to beat a pint again. It's hard to beat.
Absolutely.
But I think that will wrap us up there, Paddy. We've been on about an hour, nearly an hour and a half, I think, here. But yeah, lovely obviously, anybody that's listening or watching will know where to find you. But if not, where can they find you?
Any app of your choice, Mr. Paddy Murphy, I'll be there.
Brilliant. Paddy, it's been a pleasure having you. We'll get this onto Spotify and YouTube probably tomorrow. So you're free to tell the world. And
absolutely, you get a few TikTok clips out of it as well, I'd say.
I get a few TikTok clips wrapped up. Before I finish, this is another thing. I have 2 TikTok accounts, and I want your advice. One of them has fuck all followers. The other one has just over 3,000 followers. Now, one of them is one I have used for FIFA, but I don't really use for FIFA anymore. The other one, I turned it into the podcast TikTok account. But it's doing pure shade. So I was thinking, would it be better just to continue on with my 3,000 follower TikTok account, try and use it as the podcast account and for like a personal account as well?
I reckon so. I reckon double up, I'd say, for sure.
Double up on it.
Just use your most popular platform. That's just the best way to get it out there. And then, you know, if that gets good traction, then you can maybe transfer back over. You know, if you want more of the podcast, you can go back here. So I reckon for now, put all on the one.
May as well, because that other one, it doesn't seem to be doing. This is just me being fucking not getting instant success and thinking, right, fuck that.
No, it's hard. Yeah, no, it is hard. But no, I reckon with podcasts, like visual clips, like if you clip them up, you can do really well. Like there's a couple of good things you talked about there. You can like that Cal the Dragon one, you could easily chop up and. Yeah. There's a lot of. That's what I done a podcast last week in studio with the lads. Like, yeah, lads, you get great clips out of that. Yeah, that's the key to growing a podcast on Twitch or anything or TikTok even. It's like visual and just get short form, like how we were saying. Like, you should keep on the main one for now. Yeah. Like, and then once you build that, you know.
Yeah. No, well, that'll do, and we will end it there. Cheers for listening and watching, everybody, and we'll see you again next week.